Hey, what's going on, everybody? Leigh Dickey here, comedian, actor, producer, reviewer, and welcome to the Leigh Dickey TV YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Please do follow me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Leigh T. Dickey, and visit my official website, leightdickey.com. If you would, please subscribe to both my podcasts, the Beats and Speaks podcast and Yo Nostalgia. Please do comment, like, subscribe, and share on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts as well. Please and thank you. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. That really helps us out a lot. But thanks for tuning in to the Leigh Dickey TV YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Now let's get on to today's video. Alright, so today we are talking the CSI Revival Limited Series. That's a go. CBS has greenlit the CSI Revival, and we're going to get into that right now. Alright, so more on this CSI Revival that is happening. CBS has greenlit this Revival series. It will be a limited series, whatever that means. I suppose, does that mean you get a limited number of episodes, one and done, and then you're out of there? Just maybe between, I don't know, 6 and 13, or 8 and 13, or 10 and 13. Who knows? Because, you know, when you say limited, I'm thinking like it's not a full season, and it's probably the length of, say, a mini-series or something like that. But that's just my understanding and using my, you know, television production background and what have you. But do you get, say, just a limited number of episodes that's probably the length of a mini-series, and then you're one and done, then you're out of there? And, you know, like, revivals are all the rage these days. I've said that in several of my previous videos. Revivals are just the thing now. Everything that was popular when I was a kid and growing up is popular again. Everything old is new again, to quote the Peter Allen song. So this Revival series, which it's going to be a mix of old versus new. You have returning cast members in William Petersen, Jorja Fox, and Wallace Langham. And then on the, I guess, new or the fresh-faced cast member side, you have Mel Rodriguez, Matt Lauria, Paula Newsome, and Mandeep Dillon. They're probably going to add more as they get closer to, say, the limited series premiere. Now, of course, I'm not sure what a limited series means in terms of like what CBS wants to do with this Revival, but I mean, you get as many episodes as they want to do, I suppose. And as far as I can tell, like the returning cast members and the new cast members coming in, plus the network, they're all very high on this Revival. And revivals are all the rage these days, like I keep saying. Like, everything that I remember growing up as a kid, like when it comes to movies, television, everything, say, within the last 30 to 40 years is just coming back. It's been updated. It's just, you know, meant for a new audience, I suppose. And this is no different. Everybody's high on it. And to be honest, like, when I came into CSI, I missed all of William Petersen's run. I missed most of Jorja Fox's run, and pretty much everybody within the first, say, 9 seasons. I missed all of Gary Durden's run, and I missed practically the first 9 seasons of the show just because it was, I don't know, I just missed it. You know, it wasn't something that I was watching up until about season 9, so I would have been like maybe, 19 or 20 years old at the time. But it was just something that I wasn't watching, I guess, up to that point, and I missed, say, like I said, Gary Durden's run, William Petersen's run, most of Jorja Fox's run. I came into the show when Lawrence Fishburne he was announced as a cast member, and I kind of sort of came in and out, or like propped in and out of the show when Fishburne left and Ted Danson came over from CSI Cyber. But thanks to, I think it was the E! Network, from, say, the middle of December of 2020 right up until just after the new year in January of this year, they ran the entire series, including the finale movie. And it was it was so cool because a lot of this stuff was new to me, and getting to watch it, I guess, with fresh eyes and to see things that I hadn't seen before and hadn't seen in, say, I don't know, maybe the last 5 to 7 years. It was cool to see it with fresh eyes again and just really absorb it all. I was hooked, okay? When I saw, say, most of that entire series run that the E Network, at least here in Canada, were running between the middle of December of last year and the beginning of this year, I was hooked. And it was just, I think just to see someone like a Jorja Eads, like I loved his character on CSI, and then you'd see Neil McDonough. I think he made a guest appearance in one episode, which I thought was, because Neil McDonough is one of my favorite actors. Same thing with Jorja Eads, and it was so cool to see. I was just hooked, and I wanted more, and I was so, when I saw everything, or at least like that finale movie, I was kind of disappointed and kind of bummed, and I kind of figured like, all right, so they're running this marathon. Is there a revival in the works? Is something happening? I know I hadn't read anything on the revival up to that point, so I just started looking for stuff, and here we are. Following up on what I said earlier, it's a mix of old meets new. So you have William Petersen, Georgia Fox, Wallace Langham. Those are the returning cast members, and then Mandeep Dillon, Mel Rodriguez, Matt Lauria, and Paula Newsome as the new cast coming together, because this revival series is going to revolve around and kick off and sort of like center around this existential threat that's going to sort of envelop the Las Vegas crime lab, and you have to have all of these people, just like the new cast and the returning cast, the old cast, if you will, coming back or just coming together and taking this existential threat head on. Of course, you have series creator Anthony Zucker is going to be one of the executive producers. I think William Petersen is as well. And then Jerry Bruckheimer is going to come back and be one of the executive producers for this series as well. And I think it's just, it's for a new audience. You're trying to get people that were sort of fans of the original show, and you're just trying to introduce it to a new audience. I know it's going to be a limited series, and I know that reboots and revivals are all the rage, and I have said that I'm not a big fan of it. But this is something that I am a fan of. Like, I am a fan of CSI and pretty much every police procedural TV show that there is out there. So I will give it a watch when it does hit the air. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on this CSI revival. Of course, I will link the article from The Hollywood Reporter, where I'm getting all this information from, down in the description and show notes below for you all to enjoy. But I mean, again, let me know what you think down in the comments. I really appreciate it. And like this is just a thought. Like, I know that CSI was spun off 3 times. You had CSI Cyber, which is where Ted Danson came in, because CSI Cyber I think only ran 2 seasons and was a mid-season replacement twice. So it lasted 2 years, and then his character, Ted Danson's character from CSI Cyber, came over to CSI and then wrapped up the series after season 15. And then, like, I'm wondering, can you get somebody like Ted Danson's character, like, I think his character's name is D.B. Russell, if my memory serves me correctly. And then can we get David Caruso to come back, or maybe even Adam Rodriguez? Just as many cast members from the spin-offs that we can. Like, that would be cool. I know it's a limited series, but just to get as many sort of cast members to come back, just to make guest appearances, that would be cool. Mark Helgenberger. I mean, they can retcon the Gary Durden thing, can't they? The Warwick Brown, how Gary Durden was written out of the show in season 9. Like, can we get that to happen? Like, just as many people that were on this show when it was first on the air. Can we get as many guest appearances? That's just for me as a fan. If we can get as many guest appearances on this limited series as humanly possible and as much as the executive producers and the network want. Like, I think from a fan's perspective, that would be cool. Just have Gary Sinise come in, because he was Mac Taylor on CSI New York, David Caruso from CSI Miami. Like, why not? Horatio Caine, you know what I mean? Like, that would be cool. For me, anyway. Can we get Lawrence Fishburne to come back? Just make some guest appearances. Again, I know it's a limited series, and this is like my fandom mind kicking into overdrive, but for me, that's what I would want as a fan. And, I'm willing to at least watch the pilot and see what happens with this limited series once it hits the air. Thanks for tuning in to Leigh Dickey TV on YouTube. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share as well. Please do subscribe to both my podcasts, the Beats and Speaks podcast and Yo Nostalgia, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or your favorite podcast app and player of choice. Leave us a 5-star rating and review as well. Follow the fun on social media at Leigh T. Dickey. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And find out more information about me on my official website, leightdickey.com. All the links are in the description and show notes down below. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Leigh Dickey, comedian, actor, producer, reviewer, and we will see you next time. Peace!